Mr. Adams and I made a verbal agreement stating that I would coach 10 basketball games at $230 each. Sir.
You were going to be the coach for the church's basketball league?
Yes.
And is that true, sir? There was this agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you're not disputing that?
Right.
All right. And how many games did you coach?
I presided over 5, but I was terminated. I was on the way to a costume party.
Yes.
And I was pulled over by Officer Miller, and she gave me a ticket for speeding, and I proceeded to the party.
So you're not disputing that you were in fact speeding?
I was in fact speeding.
All right. And Ms. Miller, step forward, please. Because you're a witness, obviously, here to this case, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So you are given a ticket by Ms. Miller for speeding.
Yes.
You knew who he was?
I didn't initially, Your Honor. I pulled him over for indefinitely speeding, but when I approached the car, it appeared to be a very large woman that was in the car. He tried to speak to me in a high-pitched female-sounding voice.
Well, when you saw his driver's license, did you recognize who he was?
Yes, yes.
And did you say to him, I know you?
No, not directly.
So there was, so both of you knew who the other person was?
Yes, I knew.
But you both pretended that you didn't. Is that a fair statement?
Yes.
Did you pretend that you didn't know her?
Yes.
He tried to pretend like he was a woman.
Right.
Okay. So tell me about that.
Your Honor, I was attending a costume party and had dressed at the house and left and was speeding.
And so were you basically in drag?
I was in a dress and a wig.
All right. And that was a problem for you?
Cross-dressing woman. Yes, sir.
It was a costume party?
So he says.
Oh, that's the issue. Did you just ask him, is this a lifestyle thing or is this a one-time thing?
No.
Why not?
Because dressed as a woman, there's no excuse for it.
So, if you did not believe him, why not just ask him?
I had spoken to him in the past. He wears flamboyant clothing. There were issues with the young men.
What issues?
Tapping them on the rear end, things like that.
A coach tapping a kid on the butt at a basketball game?
This is a conservative church. And
I mean, my kids play sports, and that is just something that people in sports do all the time.
I understand, Your Honor.
You've seen that, clearly.
Yes.
So why is it that when Mr. Jones does it, it's a problem for you?
It's because I'm black.
The race card is, as you can say, not an issue because obviously I'm here as a member of the church. Of course, yes.
It's in an upscale white area in Rhode Island.
Okay. Wait, are you a member of this church?
I am a member. I've been a member for 4.5 years.
All right. Have you had a good relationship with the church?
I've made a commitment to this church. I had another offer, which I turned down
the pastor of this church?
Yes, he is.
All right. You've been okay with him being your spiritual constant?
Yes.
All right. Did you think it was going to be a problem when you saw Officer Miller?
I thought I'd just get my ticket and be on my way.
It's obviously he knew he was doing something wrong. I mean, he never gave me direct eye contact.
You know her. And you know her not in a law enforcement setting. You know her in a spiritual. You have proof of the amount of monies that you
I have a contract here.
Show me. And whatever you have. We are efficient here.
May I?
Yes.
Call me judgmental. How did you judge for yourself?
Let's take a look at my plasma.
Horrifying.
And here's another picture. We've got 2 pictures here. Okay.
You're the judge of this court. I'm responsible for my church, for everybody in there.
I'm just taking it all in. Interesting. And so you feel as though that $2,300 covers the remaining part of the monies that you would have otherwise been owed?
Yes.
Based on the evidence and the testimony before this court. The gavel must come down in favor of the defendant because you all are from Rhode Island. And Rhode Island has specific laws regarding employment. Some states have what's called the public policy exception, where it would not be in the public's best interest to allow an employer to terminate someone based on actual or perceived bias, whether it's based on race, gender, sexual orientation. Rhode Island does not. They don't have a public policy exception. You talked about there being a verbal contract, which means there's an implied contract, and you suffered detrimental reliance by saying, okay, I will take this job, and you avoided the other job, which you may have kept. In that situation, where you have an implied contract, it's enforceable, except in Rhode Island. So then we have this issue of at-will employment, where an employer can fire you, whether it's just cause or not. Rhode Island is a state that allows for that. you're in the wrong state to be able to pursue this claim. But I'm disgusted by it, Pastor. Your matter is dismissed. Case closed.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim is denied.
The pastor's wrong to judge me. He should accept me for who I am.
The judge made the right decision in dismissing this case.
And so when you suspected something, what of it?
I just proceeded to give him the ticket and make it a routine traffic stop, and just as soon as it was over and he drove off, I made sure to contact the pastor right away with this.
Why'd you do that?
Because I had a feeling, like I said, that I felt like he was trying to hide something by hiding his identity or by not openly acknowledging that he knows
That's
exactly
not your call.
who I am.
Your Honor?
No. You're in law enforcement. Why are you all up in his private business? Is he all up in your business? Because we all have stuff in our past that we wouldn't necessarily want other people knowing about. Would you feel comfortable about him telling the pastor about some things in your past, or even worse, contacting your bosses and say, well, you know, here's the deal with Miss Miller?
He spoke in a high-pitched voice, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I was in character.
He's making excuses after excuse, Your Honor. You talk about costume party.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Character, it's a lifestyle.
Yes.
Okay, let's assume it is a lifestyle. Has anyone just said to him, are you a crossdresser, or are you gay? Or because even those two things, you can be a crossdresser and not be gay. You can be gay and not be a crossdresser. So which is it that's so bothersome?
Both.
Both.
I can't have neither one raising our young men in our church.
So if someone decides, just for giggles, I'm going to put on a wig and be silly, they're out at the church?
There was no excuse for him to even be dressed like that.
So if he were dressed as, let's say, a cop going to the Halloween party.
An honorable profession. He knows better. He knows better. He represents the church.
When I say no, that doesn't mean keep talking. It means, why is the judge telling me no? Oh, maybe I need to be quiet. Because I'm trying to understand, Pastor, where you're coming from. So because he got dressed, put on women's attire, and presented himself as a woman for a party, he's out.
He's representing the church and example for the young men.
This was about, he made a mistake in your eyes one time.
I've lost a few members of the church because of this.
How did they know?
Word gets out.
Well, only the two of you knew.
They asked me why I dismissed Kyle, and I was upfront. I told them he was found dressed as a woman, and I can't have a cross-dresser working for the church.
Wow. And you are the spiritual leader of this church. That is horrifying.
Well, personally, I think this is a very sensitive case because, you know, it speaks of institutional values, principles, laws, and all of those stuff. And then one's personal life and rights, as it has to do with, you know, human rights and constitution and all of those stuff. But first of all, I think that the officer stepped beyond her boundaries, even though she was a member of the church and she knew the guy, you know, to go beyond her official duty at that time because she was at work to, you know, be reporting the young man to the pastor. I don't really think she did well. And from my personal opinion, I don't really think the pastor handled it well also. I think there could have been a better way to deal with this issue. Probably take the young guy through a counseling session, you know, just to ascertain properly to know if he actually is what he's accused of, or it was just a once-off kind of thing as he was claiming. You know, to have just dismissed him like that, to me, I think it was not fair, you know, and the church should be a place for, you know, love, correction, discipline, and all of this stuff. We understand the part of, you know, him being a role model and one that, you know, other young people could be looking up to based on what he was doing for the church and all that, you know. But then there could have been a better way to handle such a thing, you know, not just ostracize the guy or terminate the guy's contract, whatever it is, that was meted on this guy. And well, the judge has given his verdict, but at the end of the day, he has to comply with the laws of the state, But I really think that the guy should have been given some form of compensation. But outside that, also, these religious laws should be regulated to, be more accommodative or accommodating rather, Well, that's my own opinion. You are free to share yours in the comment section. Some people believe that rules are rules. The church, has been desecrated, has been undermined for too long, and we need to start rising up and being firm with our laws and all of this stuff. What do you guys think? Share your thoughts, and you could help someone. Thank you, and always stay tuned to this channel, Matthew Reacts. More will be coming your way. Thank you.